The Hilltop Glove Podcast is sponsored by Mid-Carolina Service Company.
Mid-Carolina Service Company is the first name to search for your residential or commercial HVAC needs in Lexington and surrounding areas.
Just go holler at Jason and Clint. They'll hook you up on the air conditioners, on the restaurant equipment, refrigerators, refrigeration, ice machine repair. They've been doing this for years. I know them cats forever.
Family owned and operated since 2006, they pride themselves in their quality work and customer relationships. Call 803-356-4153 or visit midcarolinaserviceco.com for a no obligation quote for service today.
The Hilltop Glove Podcast is sponsored by True Brilliance Entertainment.
True Brilliance is a production, promotions, and management company dedicated to connecting artists and producers across the Carolinas to music industry professionals.
Several of their clients have placements both domestic and internationally as a result of their services.
Are you an artist or producer looking to build meaningful relationships within the music industry? Then True Brilliance is for you. Check them out at paramilitary.com. That's spelled P-A-I-R-A military.com.
This episode of the Hilltop Glove Podcast is sponsored by Bob's. Bob's is a Columbia-based retailer of over 100 Black-owned products from 20 Black-owned businesses. Bob's offers a wide range of items from household cleaning, cosmetics, and everything in between. With every visit to Bob's, you support Black-owned businesses, giving them the opportunity to grow and establish connections with our community. Bob's is located inside the Noma warehouse at 2222 Sumter Street in Columbia, South Carolina. Visit their website, weshopbobs.com for in-store pickup or to find out more. Bob's can also be found via social media on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at weshopbobs. When you stop by, tell them the Hilltop Glove sent you. Bob's brings quality Black brands to the Columbia community. The Hilltop Glove Podcast is sponsored by Red Rooster Sports Bar and Grill. Red Rooster is your neighborhood bar and grill serving the best wings, burgers, and baskets in the Met.
Like the amazing food, the bar is always on tap, and there's plenty of screens to watch the big game. Red Rooster is the Midland's premier meetup spot for local car and bike clubs, fraternities, and sororities.
Staff is dedicated to accommodating all kinds of parties and events. If you're looking to catch a game, have a bite, and a drink, look no further than the Red Rooster.
Red Rooster is located at 7500 Wilson Boulevard, Columbia, South Carolina. For more information, visit redroostersportsbar.com or visit them on Facebook and Instagram at Red Rooster Sports Bar. Go where the winners go.
Welcome to the Hilltop Glove Podcast.
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 Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Hilltop Glove Podcast. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with Mr. Javon Jamison, also known as Javo. Javo is an artist, entrepreneur located in Charlotte, North Carolina. Born in Orangeburg, South Carolina, he attended Calhoun County High School, as well as Benedict College. As an upcoming music artist from the South, he has also a political background from working at the House of Representatives. Thank you for joining us today. How are you?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing this morning?
Doing good.
Doing well. Blessed to be here.
New city, Queen City.
Oh, yeah,
Matter
Queen
of fact,
City.
let's do the shout out real quick.
Who we shouting out?
Oh, okay. So
Give a heads up.
let's do a shout out. So I just want to give a shout out to Scott Slagle over at Asylum Digital Recording Studios here in the QC for hosting us today for this amazing podcast. It's a great location. Like I said, not only record a podcast, but of course, ultimately to record music and record amazing music. Scott, he was season 2, amazing interview. Please go back and check it out. Amazingly talented recording engineer. He has some amazing stories if you let him talk.
Yeah. Give him time to do it. Don't rush.
Let him
talk. Yes.
Yeah.
So y'all, we in a real recording studio right now.
Yeah, it's the first time we've done this.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
seriously. That's the best part of the studio being, too. This is the live musician side. This is the only reason I want to come here because We got Defender Rhodes over here chilling.
Right.
We got the art behind us and stuff like that. We got everything set up. You can tell this is a real deal Holyfield place. So if you're looking to record some music, especially if you're doing live music, if you have a band, you have a 4 or 5 piece band, you want to get it in, this is a place that you can get it done at locally. So I'm going to shout out again to Scott Slagle. Thank you for having us today and hosting us here for the Hilltop Club podcast.
Nice
Absolutely.
drop. Well, yeah, back to music. My cousin is Javo. He does music. So this worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
I was like, I got to have him on the episode. And once we had that open space, I was like, it's in a recording studio. He do music, link, plug.
Come on through.
That's it.
Absolutely.
But as you guys
Appreciate it.
know, he's part of my family.
Say full disclosure.
I'm blessed to call you family. But for
Yeah.
those who don't know you, can you tell us about your childhood? How was it growing up in Orangeburg? And where did your love for music begin?
Okay. I'm born at the Orangeburg Regional Medical Center. That's the Orangeburg Hospital down in Orangeburg.
Yeah.
My childhood, I'm pretty much raised, and all my childhood is in St. Matthew, South Carolina, which is where Calhoun County High School at. But just growing up, Calhoun County Saints, that's it. Absolutely. But just growing up, I always had a love for music at a very early age. Back in, I think I was in 7th grade, we had a teacher. I had a teacher named Miss Fran Cutler, and she taught music. Even at that young, just to realize the details of music, how, you got this section doing something, you got that section doing something, you got this section doing something, and just like when it all comes together, you know what I'm saying? It's just a beautiful sound, and just it intrigued me a lot. More and more listen to music. Sister really got a big part. A lot of people don't know that. My sister got a big part of my music, like my music selection. I used to listen to a lot of stuff, so I love reggae music.
Dope. One love. I was listening to
Yeah,
reggae on the way up
dope.
here.
Yeah, I love reggae music. Just a lot of different artists and different things of that nature. Just at an early age, just to hear so different music, different stuff, and my ear just always had a good sound for good music. Like, I just know what good music is. And I just pretty much, my love for music came as a child. And growing up in St. Matthews, man, it really wasn't much to do. Very small town.
He was in the church.
Yep.
Hey, that's how we
We was
start.
in the
No,
church.
that's
You know
how
what
it
I'm saying?
starts.
That's how it all starts.
Yeah.
We grew up in the church, Cedar Grove Baptist Church.
Shout out Cedar Grove.
Cedar Grove, down in Lone Star, South Carolina.
Word.
Pastor Curtis Young.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
That's our first church drop that we've had, y'all.
Yeah.
So shouts out to that. I like that church drop. Yeah.
For sure. Shout out to Cedar Grove. But yeah, started in church. Just like Tamaya said, like, we have people in our family that just can sing, just got voices and just a lot of things. And mainly, my main reason of doing this, like my mother, she's a big singer down where we at, down in St. Matthews. And just my love for music. I feel entitled to go and see how far I can take it. You know what I'm saying? Because, the opportunities that was there for them, it wasn't many opportunities as we have now.
True.
I feel I'm doing them a disservice if I don't see how far I can take it. Because I just been around too much good wisdom, just good family members, just good energy and stuff that they've installed in me to be at the point I'm at now. And I'm thankful for that.
Dope, mad dope. And I know you're just talking about your family's influence on you, actual foray into music and music in general. And I like that you did bring it to the fact that starting with the church. And a lot of folks don't understand that, especially in our community, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
The church, man. That's where we get so much of our talent from. That's like the first organizational principle in most of our communities. You're talking about your Whitney Houstons and et cetera, your
Absolutely.
Aretha Franklins, your Ray Charles, et cetera. All these people coming out of church. With all this, that's where we get talented. That's where we get our first tutelage in how to properly sing and carry a note, learning how to read music. If you're a person that plays the keyboard or the drum or the guitar or the bass, usually that's the first time you also have that chance to expose that to other people. Did you do any performance in the church growing up?
Absolutely. I was on the male chorus.
Word.
Yeah, on the male chorus, Cedar Grove male chorus. We actually formed that under a pastor because he's a big singer down there. So he's he's a big radio personality down there. Curtis Young. He's very yeah. That's how that.
All right.
Yeah,
Small world.
So he's magical as far as music talented wise. Talent, he amazing. So we formed that organization under him, and since then I just been like just performing, leading songs, just singing because of the fact that I see everybody else do it. My aunts, my mom, my dad, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, at some point, you got to carry on that, you know what I'm saying? So at this point, like I tell everybody, it's way bigger than music, you know what I'm saying? What I'm doing, like, it's an enjoyment part for me, but it's almost like I owe it to my family as well, you know what I'm saying? Because just of how much talent and singing-wise we have in my family alone, you know what I'm saying? My Aunt Edith was a great singer. That's me, you know what I'm saying? That's me and Tamaya. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all have a talented family.
Yeah, we really do. And
We really do.
Everybody
possesses something, even if you don't even know your history.
Yeah.
You still got that in your blood.
Mm.
I didn't know my great-grandfather was an artist.
Shut up.
I was about 30, about last year.
Shut up.
My mom was like,
why was it? How did you not know this?
I just didn't know.
Good Lord.
Didn't know. Next thing you know, I'm painting and stuff. It came through me.
And it comes right out the soul, right out the spirit. No, I can tell. I know I can immediately tell. It's funny because, you got two cousins here and I see y'all talking. Y'all like, yeah, we know what these
they
stories
brothers,
are.
But I didn't even tell you they're brothers.
Yeah, that's my brother. DT just walked into the building, y'all. My man.
How you doing?
I just had to take a quick break. 1 second. Yeah, we just had one of my good friends walking today. He's going to watch us today do this interview. But
oh, cool. I don't know where the chairs at. You part
bring him another one. Bring him this one right there. You can roll it in if you need to.
Roll the chair right there.
Sit in. Sit down. Yeah, sit down. Sit down.
Our special guest.
We got some special guests today, y'all. Thomas Holiday. Yeah, he knows. He's a follower of the podcast. He knows this pretty well.
See, this is what y'all do. Y'all put people on.
This happens when you pull up. This is what happens when you pull up.
You
gotta watch him. You gotta watch it. And we were just talking about, matter of fact, just make sure I'm not crazy about this. We were just talking about Orangeburg and Calhoun County. Yeah, we got Orangeburg.
What?
Yeah, born and raised.
Okay. That's where I was born too.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
My cousin, he was born
I'm from Orangeburg.
Okay.
St. Matthews, Calhoun County.
Okay. Neighbor. Come on.
Oh yeah, it's all 803 thing. It's E&D, man.
Yo.
All 803.
Oh, 803.
So we're just speaking about the family and the fact, and gentlemen, they come from a long line of performers and musicians and folks who are artists and stuff. And we're just talking about the importance of church and the maturation of this, especially within the Black community.
Yeah.
The church is the place where usually we first get our chance to show our chops, whether it be an instrument or our vocal talents or even the oration. Like most of our speakers that are great speakers come out of the church. And I tell people how important that is. But with that being said, and we're talking about church and stuff, I always like to talk about messages, especially in music. And I know my brother Kevin and I, we're having this conversation up on the way about the importance of messages and people not understanding where the message should go. And that sometimes is based on education, ideology, or whatnot. But music has always been an effective way to communicate to the masses. And lyrics have played a massive role in delivering this communication. The question I want to pose to you is, what message do you want your audience to capture from your music?
You know what? That's a very good question. Because nowadays it's a particular message that's being promoted that we gotta as artists we gotta start having a conscience about. You know what I'm saying? As artists, we gotta start having a conscience about these things. Certain stuff we promote and like our voices are powerful. So at the end of the day, man, we got to be careful, man, what we feed in the younger generation. If you just look around, you know what I'm saying, the younger generation, man, it's rough right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's rough because, a lot of time it comes from our voices, our messages, the people with power. We just got to be, I don't knock nobody for how they make their money, do their thing, you know what I'm saying? But as human beings, and I'm just speaking on my culture, the Black culture, we got to start having a little bit more conscience about these things because if we look back down the line of history, we can see we was able to make music without that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We was able to make music and conquer everything we want to do without that. You know what I'm saying? You look back, the Spinners, the OJs, Earth, Wind and Fire, James Brown.
Love is the
You know what I'm
message.
saying? You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We were still able to, we still was able to get our point across. You know what I'm saying?
Even James Brown.
Yeah, even James Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell everybody, we just gotta have a little bit more conscious. I would suggest that people stop being so trendy. It's almost like people don't even value their own opinions no more.
Wait.
That's
yeah. Oh, we can't hear it right now. But you do have to build on that because I think that's something it's almost as if people don't realize you have power.
Yes.
To control those things.
Power in
Let's go back to the church real quick a second.
Like those are what is it called? Not like witchcraft, but you're speaking like words, like
spells.
Spells.
You should have said witchcraft. Yeah. Shoot, that's what it is.
Everything that comes out your mouth is a spell.
You know what? I think going to that point, I think that's just a universal law, though.
Yes.
Like you have what you speak. Like power is in your words. So whether you Christian, whether you
power of life and death,
Muslim, whether you just believe in vibes, energy, universe, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think there's just this universal understanding that, you got to be careful what you say because your speech literally can dictate your life, what happens in your life, the people around you. It can be so controlling. And like my man was saying, when you don't value your own opinions, when you're so afraid of going against the grain, then that's what puts you in this shell, in this box So that's why you can hear 5 songs on the radio, which I do not recommend anybody do. And all 5 songs can literally be talking about the same thing. Just on a different beat.
That's it.
That's literally what it is.
That's
literally
so
what it
as
is.
an artist, like, how do you feel when you hear like rappers talk about like death and stuff like that, and then it actually happens?
Oh, man, I got to be more careful. That's like I say, you got to have a conscience. At the end of the day, like I tell everybody, it's not about the money. You know what I'm saying? People always go to popularity because that's where the money is.
The trendy stuff.
Yeah, that's the trendy stuff. You know what I'm saying? I was talking about. At some point, you got to realize that if everybody can change the culture. If everybody can just come together and not, because you listen to, I drive trucks. I be riding, listening to other different radio stations, and it's just all radio stations.
Regions?
Yeah, different regions. You know, country, rock, hip hop, I listen to different stuff.
I got a story for you. Go ahead.
Yeah. And you listen to our radio station, man.
Gosh, darn it. You couldn't get away with the stuff we say on our stations.
Man, I mean, it's bad now because they allowing a lot on there now.
More than what we grew up with.
Yeah, way more than we grew up with.
Who is the FCC now?
Yeah.
Do they even exist anymore?
Now, I remember the song when Juvenile came out with Back That Thing Up. I remember when they played it on the radio, they literally made it said, back that Zazz up. And they edited it like that really poorly in a bad way because back in the day, they didn't play that. Meaning you aren't saying that on the radio. If you're going to say that on the radio, we're going to make it sound bad. We're going to cut out completely. Like you get none of it. Nowadays, you can slip all kinds of stuff into it.
Well, here's the thing, though, because if they were to actually edit out all of the songs, it would just be one long. It would just be like, I'm telling you, like, I'm just making this instrumental. Yo, man, that's what we doing
Maybe
now.
we need to get back to instrumentals.
Oh, my Lord. I like instrumental
That
music.
goes back to our last artist, Master Key.
Yo.
Well, I'm going to ask her that today.
Yeah, we're going to ask about the mix. Yeah. Instrumentals are cool. I have nothing wrong with this. I love jazz music, so I have no problem with instrumentals, but I know you got to sometimes put some words on it.
Yeah.
And I have nothing wrong with words. And I'll tell you this, man. I wake up on Saturday mornings when we don't have to go out and do anything early for podcasting. And I'm going to tell you what I do. It sounds real weird because I'm just happy you said this as a truck driver. You pointed this out. I'll watch CMT. And I'm like, why are you watching CMT? My wife be asking me, why you turn CMT on? I said, watch, peep game. There's a few black country artists that are actually very big right now. And I watch it because I always like to say, what do they feed to themselves that they don't feed to us? Because we don't run that world no more. We created country, you can go back and look at it. Jazz, all that stuff. We don't run that anymore. So I'm looking at the messages that are in the music videos, right? So I'll watch Revolt earlier in the morning. I get up about 6:30 every morning. So I'm watching Revolt early because I'll have their videos on. I see what's in their videos, etc. I see the drugs. I see the people in the strip club. I see the expensive cars. I see the guys with the guns. I say, cool, okay. So now I turn over to CMT. Same black dude, the black man. He's in a video. He has his daddy in the video. His mommy's in the video. His children in the video. He's talking about family values. He's talking about taking care of his family properly, how to build up wealth and stuff for the future. He didn't say nothing about drugs. He didn't sell no liquor. He said anything about liquor. It's him sitting on the back porch with his dad having a drink.
See, and
he's
that's
not
why,
at the club,
that's why I only
and he's
listen to
making
reggae.
money.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
You can't tell me, oh, it's because that's how we got to make money. No, you're a lie. You're being lazy. You can still make money with a positive message. And that's hard for people to understand. And you as an artist, and I'm happy you said this because you getting to travel and go to different areas. I think that's one of the things that throws people off as well. Is just understand sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone.
You have to. You have to.
And could you explain, especially, and this is something, because we don't get to talk to people who just travel around like that. Could you explain how getting out of your comfort zone, how that has affected your music? And I guess this is a second question to add on to that. Have you ever placed hidden messages within lyrics for your listeners to decode in your music? So first things first is the experience of traveling around, how that has changed your perspective. And then do you find ways to creatively fit in good messages? Absolutely.
My whole thing is just from going to different places, different states, listening to different music, different things. My whole perspective on it and demeanor on it is it definitely has changed. And like you said something about comfort zone. I advise everybody, your comfort zone will kill you.
Hey,
and it's that serious. You know what I'm saying? It's that deep. Your comfort zone is going to kill your happiness. It's going to kill your peace because at the end of the day, when you wake up for the next day, what are you looking forward to? You know what you're going to do. You're stuck in the same old routine. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much just like going through the motions. Next thing you know, you look up 10, 20 years and past you, and you realize you've done nothing. Yep. So I advise everybody to get out your comfort zone because your comfort zone is where you have no growth. I mean, you hit a ceiling. And as a person, as anybody, as people, we should wake up every day to learn something new, eager to do something different. Because that's how we were talking about family, you know what I'm saying? Different things we see are growing up. It's different values. My family got their values. And at the end of the day, as people, like I was saying earlier, you got to value your own opinion. You got to go against some of your family values.
Ooh.
That's deep, right?
There's this thing I know that they've been pushing hard this week. I'm going to get back to the other question, but something that's been pushing hard this week, I know, with the stuff going on in the news with this artist called Ye. There's this thing, this thing about truth being expected in the sense of truth itself, a lot of people don't want to hear things that are hurtful or that force them to be introspective on faults that they have of their own.
That's fact.
And the Black community, God good almighty, we are the worst.
Look in the mirror,
We
please.
will beat everybody up. We will march on you because you touched our friend over here, but then we're going to go shoot a 3-year-old.
First of all, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
And then people project. That projection in the Black
is.
community is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people realize that.
Yeah, it's bad.
And the thing is, we don't like anybody to show us who, whether we're outside the community or inside the community.
Absolutely.
Like in the Black community, and you like, yo, Black people, we got to check ourselves on this. Well, yo, people will literally come for your head. I call them headhunters. I call them headhunters.
Yeah.
They will literally like come and like, yo, you can't speak on that.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm Black.
I'm
if
Black.
anything, I should be the person who can speak on.
Right.
Nah,
Right.
Nah, we don't go there.
We just like I said, we get in our comfort zone and we go there to die.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's how I realized
That's deep.
how big my ego was. I said, I got to start deconstructing it right now.
Yeah.
I said, I got to do the work now.
What do they call that?
That's
Shadow work,
Yep.
right? Black folk, I think, especially in our community, our culture itself has always been very prominent and powerful, something that's able to be monetized however we want to use it. But in order for us to actually have that operate in a way, and I think in a form in which it will be positive, not just to our community, but communities outside of us, because of course we don't exist here in a vacuum. There's other communities that we got to deal with and that we're around all the time. And for us to have fruitful relationships with them, we first got to do some shadow work within our community so that we can even talk honestly about problems that are caused by us.
Man, listen.
Speak on it, bro. Speak on it. And I'll tell you, like, and I do want you to hit on this thing about the importance of taking messaging in your music, and sometimes you got to hide it. Do you know the idea of, coming out of church again, I'm happy we talked about church this morning. So
for real.
in church, they always talk about, and I remember preachers telling me this, I didn't understand this when I was younger, but as I got older, I understood what they meant. That you take and you feed people for what they're ready for. Meaning you take a baby, you give it milk.
Yep.
As you get older, then you can give it meat. But you don't give it meat too early because you'll turn that baby off. Yeah. So speaking of the importance of hiding a message, it's almost like making sure I'm delivering you formula instead of steak too early. Could you talk about that importance?
Absolutely. It's very important to, just like I said, coming from church and just older background, just a lot of different people throughout my whole community, the village around me, coming up as a child, I give shout out and the credit to them. And that goes for neighbors, family members, anybody, friends, moms, parents. I give them a lot of credit because of the fact that, like you said, it's not what you, but how you say it. That was big. That's one of those key values that just go with you through life. It ain't about what you do it. So it's all about, of course, like with my politic background, just knowing how to words and work things. So definitely it's important. And if you listen to a lot of my music, some of my music I got out, it's a lot of hidden messages. And honestly, touching back on your question from earlier, what do I want my listeners to understand? I want my listeners to understand that, man, it's okay to go to work. You understand what I'm saying? It's okay to work 9 to 5. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. It's like, it is okay. Don't let nobody ever think not getting money is cool.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's been a strong suit of thing now. Oh, man, you got to be your own boss. Oh, you working, you going on the white man job, all this, man. And it's all on perspective. And if we could change perspective, that simple thing, a lot of things would be totally different. Because like I tell everybody, don't look at your job as a job. You understand what I'm saying? And if you don't love what you do and you get up happy every morning to go to work, don't do it. Yeah. So I advise everybody just to look themselves in the mirror, understand, man, listen, working a 9 to 5 is okay. You making money. Your job is your investor to whatever you want to do in life.
Big point.
Your job is only your investor for whatever you want to do in life. Your job is your investor. Okay, and if everybody would look at that, if everybody look at it that way, things would go so much smoother and so much better, and people can go to work. A lot of people go to work angry and mad because of the internet.
Yeah. And we created this false understanding of what it means to have and how to get money. I'm going to jump on this real quick and then we'll spread around to the rest of the panel. But all right, so you're supposed to go out and get an honest day's work, right? Whatever that is. If you own the business or if you're going to work for somebody else and you make that money, you bring it back. Cool. What we have done in our community is we clown people who don't make a specific level of money and also don't earn money in a way that we deem is okay.
Facts.
You can't say, welcome to Happy Burger, home of the Happy Burger. May I take your order? Then you get clowned.
Yeah.
Like, what was it, 2 years ago, 2-3 years ago, we had the gentleman from a man who played, he was on the Bill Cosby show. On the Cosby
Jesse Owens.
And he had to go back and get a job.
Yeah, he had
or
to go
something.
back and get
Jesse
a regular.
Owens. Yeah, he played Elvin.
Yeah, Elvin.
Yeah.
Because
This portion of the podcast is brought to you by Lynx Recording Studio. Lynx is a premier audio and video recording studio in the greater Charleston area. With 4 completely different booths, multiple peripherals, and 4 producers, they have the ability to service all facets of audio and video creativity. If you need to record a song, a podcast, create a demo, or even take headshots and complete drops for a Hollywood film, we've done it. Call us at 843-879-9386 or search us online at lynxrecordingstudios.com. That's LYNX recordingstudios.com.
of course, with dealing with all the stuff with Cosby, they basically took it off of syndication and it messed up his money, his ends.
Yeah.
So he went back and said, you know what? Let me just get this job here. Why? Because I got enough money. But in order to make things work properly, I need a day-to-day income.
Right.
People were clowning this man at work, doing something legal.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we got a drug dealer out here selling drugs to kids in his own community. Tearing his, look, and he's not getting any press, any slack on that. Matter of fact, he's going to be on ESPN and doing the halftime show. No problem. Cool. No beans with it. That's us saying in our community, that's us making a vote that we agree with you doing and getting money in a way that's harmful to us over you earning an honest day's wage.
Because honestly, if you think about it, especially more specifically with that specific situation, people were more so grabbing attention and flocking to the idea that, oh, he fell off.
Yeah.
Like, you were here and now you're here. So people don't know what goes on behind the scenes. All they know is what they see
in the front.
And all they know is we saw you on TV. Now you got on an apron and you working at a grocery store. Yo, life must really be terrible for you right now. And that can't be the case all the time. Yo, seriously, people misjudge, people create these assumptions in their head and they figure, yo, every situation fits this stereotype. If it's not this, then it must be that. Yo, one of the worst things that we can do is assume that, everything is either true or false. Sometimes two things can be true at the same time.
Mutually exclusive truth.
Yes, I've seen it happen. Like, I tell my family this all the time. I'm like, yo, like, just because you got this over here doesn't mean that person's doing this over here. Just because 1 + 1 = 2 doesn't mean that, like, 0 + 2 can't equal 2. You see what I'm saying?
Two ways.
It's
more
the
than one way to
same
skin a
thing.
cat.
Right. So, like, once we come out of that whole box, that whole perspective and stuff, yo, all the stuff
with that contentness. That content kills. I'm sticking with the contentness.
All this stuff is just self-sabotage in the end, man. That's really what it is.
Moving from a limited experience.
That's it.
I ain't gonna limit my mind. I'm sorry.
And we do a good job, especially in our community. I always tease about this of maintaining something called social tyranny. And you know about social tyranny. Social tyranny. You don't look. I'm gonna tell you like this. The greatest thing you could do is create a situation in which you do not have to watch the jailed person.
Yeah.
The prisoners will keep themselves in prison.
Yeah.
And we've had a nice little trick played on us to the point where we used to think the other way. And this is what you were saying, like coming out of all the bad stuff we had came out of. You can't tell me, all right, Dr. Claude Anderson is big on this one, but coming out of slavery, we actually had money and land.
Yep.
We lost most of that while we were free. That's a darn scary thing to think about, that while you were actually free and able to move about in a free manner, and this is mindset, like you moving about in a free manner, your mind was still causing you to make decisions a person who was in prison would make. God darn it, that don't make sense. I'm telling you, man. Makes zero sense. So that's especially, and this is why it's so important, like when we think about music, because music is something that you do not have to give a permission to have an effect on you. Don't have to talk to it. You don't have to sign a contract for yourself. The effects of that music will be immediate and they will start acting as soon as it starts hitting that brain. That subconscious mind starts putting stuff in it that remembers the lyrics, the certain things. And I catch myself doing it. I listen to stuff. I tell people, I'm not perfect. I listen to ratchet music, and
yeah,
every once in a while,
course.
because like I said, you can't
Flavor.
have
An aesthetic experience.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to see what the experience is. Because my thing is, I want to know too what the feel is in the street and what people are going through. Because to not do that is to take yourself and almost put yourself in an ivory tower. And I'm not one of those guys. I'm not going to do that.
Like you remove yourself.
Yeah,
you're no longer in touch.
Yeah,
with the people around you. And stuff.
I'm not trying to end up like Sammy Sosa, and pardon me for saying this, Serena Williams. I'm going to stay black. I'm not going to bleach my skin. So with that said, in essence, as I'm saying, I'm going to stay with my culture, meaning I'm going to try to support my culture. I want to renovate my culture. I want to gentrify my culture.
Inclusivity, equity, all
to
that
make
stuff.
it better.
Yeah.
I want us to be a culture in which we cannot move and grow, evolve in a way that we can be positive for ourselves. Because this is something that's bothering us this week, boy. I know it's bothering me this week.
Especially all that yay stuff.
Man,
I don't even know what happened. Everybody just talking about it.
It doesn't even matter what happens. It's the fact that as a culture, we don't have a code.
No.
Because some people are attacking him. Other people are with
Defend him, yeah.
That makes no sense.
That just show you how ununited we are.
That's my point.
That's very true.
Ain't no unity in the black community,
Ain't none.
which is a problem.
Yeah, that's
Very
a big
true.
problem. And it leads to our next question about authenticity in the music industry. Like,
yeah, man, that's big. That's a big thing right now because, man, if you listen to everything right now, you know, the thing about music now is that everybody's so... When you're an artist and you just grow up with a love for music, you can hear the money chasing in the music.
Oh, wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look at every hit that's on the song right now.
You sound
it's a
thirsty.
sample.
You thirsty.
Right.
Come on, everything is a sample now. You see what I'm saying? It's on the radio, almost a sample now. Everything.
And they don't even need to be that way.
It don't need to be that way. You know what I'm saying? So, people don't understand how to leave well off alone. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
Because the other artists who made a song a hit a while back, hey, they probably was in bad contracts. So now they just want to make any kind of money. You know what I'm saying? So now they just letting anybody get on it, say whatever they want on it, do whatever they want on it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You killing the originality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with samples, but not everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything on the radio is a sample now. Everybody making hits out of sampling, which is it's almost like cheating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The sample's supposed to be there to accentuate something.
Accentuate something. You know what I'm saying? But not everybody just taking a sample now, and it's a money hungry thing. You know what I'm saying?
It's almost like making a pop.
And just like I tell everybody, even artists, like I tell everybody, I still want to be able to go back in my community and be comfortable, walk around. I still can do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a regular person. I'm a person of the people.
Yeah.
Anybody think me, I'm a person for the people.
Yeah.
My community will tell you that. You go around, ask anybody about me, they will tell you that I'm for the people. My grandfather was that way. My uncle I lost last year, Melvin Hart, he was that way. I'm just a man of the people because at the end of the day, these are my people.
Yeah.
The ones I can't touch, I touch. The ones I can't reach, I'll get out. If I can't help you, I'm not going to hurt you.
You know, I like that.
Facts.
So talk about being transparent in your music.
It's a key to be transparent because like I tell everybody, you want your music to be as close to you as possible. Like I tell everybody, in the black community, we got a problem with just going to talk to somebody, therapy. For me, music is therapy. A lot of things that maybe have happened in my life or different things people don't know about me, they know me in this particular way. A lot of stuff they don't know about me, I can put in my music, which I can express that, you know what I'm saying, the other side of me because I just wouldn't go around having a conversation about stuff I'm going to talk about in music. You know what I'm saying? And people kill off the mystique in themselves a lot. You got to leave people wondering sometimes, you know what I'm saying? If you're on the internet all day long, everywhere you go, everywhere you eat, you gotta keep people guessing, you know what I'm saying? You can't never let them know too much about you. You got to keep them wanting to know more and more. And through that, that's how when I gain the following and of the listeners, that's what I just want them to know. Tell you everything that everybody else won't say, I'm going to tell you about it because it's okay. It's okay to work a temp job and you got a job today, they call your phone, your assignment in, you know what I'm saying? It's okay to go through it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I'm a guy that I done had 30 plus something jobs and I'm on 30, you know what I'm saying? And I've been working since 15. So it's, when you go through phases in life, I tell everybody, it ain't for the weak-hearted. You got to leave your feelings at the door and understand your goals. Your goals got to be bigger than anything else. No matter which avenue you got to take to get there, just get there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Might be a little rough, might be a little hard, but you got to get there. And the main thing I tell people is put the phone down, man. Put your phone down and go do something.
Listen right now.
Man, put your phone down and go do something. Go do something.
Y'all didn't see it, right? I picked my phone up when he said, I said, oh, let me put it. I don't need that right now.
Put it in my pocket. I almost turned my...
Speaking of which, man, I have to ask you about this because this is something that we want to delve into. I know you have some background in politics. And I know this is something, especially from the way we've been talking, I can tell that you have an opinion on the macro and the micro of what goes on with us politically. Could you speak on the effect of your background in that and how you move when it comes to you doing music and doing business. And could you explain to some folks what that background was?
That background, just like I said, it started with my grandfather. My grandfather was a head NAACP guy, firm of heart, back home. So it started at an early age. Like I said, him and my Uncle Melvin, they was grooming me for it. So at the end of the day, I started as a third vice chairman, under 30. I was about 20. I was 20, 21 at the time. So they voted me in as third vice chairman, under 30 for my district, which is Calhoun County. So from there, I moved through the ranks. From there, and I went up. I actually got offered a position by Russell I. Jr. To come up and work with him up at the State House. So after all of that came through, I was working in the House of Representatives. I was there for a good little while.
Wow.
And just that was a big part. Being there, like being
seeing
power
structure work.
Seeing the structure and how things was moving, that was a great experience. Like just far as me living and moving through life.
Yeah.
Certain things in there you got to understand. Like I tell everybody, us as a community, we think we so slick, we think we so good, we think we. And I'm not knocking. I'm not knocking nobody, but we got to be honest with ourselves. Sometimes saying like,
most definitely,
just moving through that State House, man. Like you always, and it taught me in life, like no matter what corner you turn, no matter what little spot you think you got, man, something always go see you, something always go catch you, something always go You can't do nothing without an eye on you. You see what I'm saying?
Honest.
Right. Like nothing. Like you know what I'm saying? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? All the way down to these phones we got on us.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They can tap into the cameras on the, you know what I'm saying?
Bingo.
You cannot.
You don't need no tracking RFDI shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and I hustle. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I knock no hustle, man. I knock nobody, man. Get your money. As far as for me, man, that's why, the structure of that State House, just watching how security was just different little things and sitting in and being able to sit actual in live sessions.
And see how
they conduct
business,
man.
how they talk to each other.
Listen, it was a lot. And we can try, man. I be trying to get at, I want that kind of structure for my community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because a lot of us don't get the chance to be in there. You know what I'm saying?
That's a big point.
A lot of my friends, you know what I'm saying, nobody, I try to give them the game that I got out of there. Because the type of stuff that was going on in there and talked about in those sessions, man, I tell everybody, that's what kind of molded me to where I'm at. That's what made me want more. But politics, it's a thin line. Thin line for saying the wrong thing at the right time. It's a thin line for saying the right thing at the wrong time. And life, life sometimes, I tell everybody, whatever it is, just take that 1 second just to stop and think before you speak. You know what I'm saying? If everybody took that one time just to stop for a second, all right, let me think about one. Just stop and think about what you're about to say, because a lot of times we'll fly them out with anything.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's too late to take it back.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of people suffering from that now.
I
see a lot of people suffering from that now.
Yeah, Lil Boosie had to deal with it a little bit too for a little minute. He came back.
I
like me some Lil Boosie, y'all.
We got the same birthday.
Real talk?
Yeah, I mean, Boosie got the same birthday.
Yeah,
That's my boy.
Boosie really don't care.
Yeah, he don't care.
Boosie's like, I'm going to be my authentic self.
He got to be authentic.
And
I love it. Yeah, and he should. And Boosie is I feel like a lot of people, and that's what you said earlier. You saying how the artists think, oh, he fell off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, here I live in Charlotte, so a lot of the big stuff comes to Bank of America Stadium. They had 2 big concerts. I think one was Elton John. And it was a group. It was a famous group that came up.
That was it
band?
It was a band. I can't remember the name of it.
Was it Wu-Tang?
No, it was a Wu-Tang. It was a country rock group.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was a country rock group. And man, they flood the streets, man. These people ain't made hits for 20, 30 years.
Oh, let's get on that. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But us, you know what I'm saying, man, so many good artists, man. And as a community, we got it bad of killing people off. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think we don't? Because you know what the issue is that they say with our community? We do not honor our ancestors anymore.
Man.
Meaning, like, I'm telling you, man, Rolling Stones, if they come out on a tour tomorrow, tell them they're gonna be tour tickets out, sold out in 3 days.
I think that's who it was.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking of. Because I was thinking about my man who was up there smoking his dad. He spliffed up his pop ashes. That's what I'm talking about. Look, one of the bass players, Rolling Stones. This dude's a crazy drug addict, but he literally, his dad's ashes, he smoked some of them up, right? They will be there selling out that stadium. No one's going to be talking about the fact that he smoked his pops up. None of that.
Come on.
All that's going to go in the back of the mind. They're like, yo, we're going out here to support these iconic folks in our culture. This goes back to the culture part. Has nothing to deal with the politics. Nothing. It's just the culture, supporting their culture. For us, especially with hip hop. And I know we're waiting on this one because hip hop, we're waiting to hit that 50-year anniversary, but we are not allowed to grow old in the culture of hip hop. And that's weird because you can do that everywhere else. Jazz, rock and roll,
Dang, we some
R&B.
hypocrites.
Think about it. We're hypocrites.
Yeah.
Because everywhere else will let you grow
crazy.
old and we will honor the ancestors. But when it comes to hip hop, for some reason, once you get past the
Age,
40,
yeah.
you're done.
You're
And
non-existent.
you're washed.
Unless you got a lot of money.
Unless you got a lot of money, because then they can't say anything.
Yeah.
My man academics learned with LL, you can't say nothing because LL still got the bag.
Yeah.
So now you got to be
Jay-Z,
quiet. You still got the bag.
I'll tell you what, and I listen to like podcasts, I listen to like interviews and stuff. And one of the things that even Nas talked about how he had to go through that. And he was talking to the older cats, Snoop and them, and was like, yo, and even Jeezy just said this recently. He was like, yo, you got to get comfortable with once you hit that 40, yo, like your demographics going to change.
Yep.
You're going to lose some people. Like, yo, so you're not going to be as popular with the younger generation. So it's, yo, you got to be comfortable with your message as you get older. And if you're going to be on your mature stuff, you got to be comfortable with the fact that
You got to lean all the way in.
all the way in.
You
All the
can't
way in.
straddle the fence.
Because then you're going to have those people out there who's, yo, you 45 and you still talking about slinging something on the
Right,
on
like,
the
you don't
corner.
even sound the same no more.
Right. So it's, yo, you stuck in between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah,
But
seriously.
the thing is, people not going to always respect it. People not going to always flow with it and understand your maturation as you grow older.
As
in
a
the game.
human.
Right. As a human. Yo, if I'm still talking about the same thing I was doing at 18, if I came in the game at that point, and here I am 40 years old, and I'm still talking, bro, all right, let's look at it like this. If I'm in corporate America, I started a position at 18 years old.
Yes, sir.
And I'm still doing the same thing at 40 years old.
Yes, sir.
That's a problem.
That's a problem.
Any businessman would say that. Comfort zone will kill you.
Comfort zone will
I'm
kill
telling you,
you.
that's a problem.
Comfort zone will kill you.
And like you say, any business person, man, woman, he, she, it, they, all above Z, would tell you, because you know I'm inclusive, they will all tell you that's not a good thing.
Yep.
So, like that's one thing I really want our culture to understand that, especially when you hear this with things that have been going on. The fact that we have to allow ourselves, first of all, just getting back on it, to be authentic, but to be realistic and allow for criticism from your own folks. Because if you can do that, it will allow for growth. And just finishing up on that question, what are your thoughts on other mainstream artists that present themselves one way for likes and followers and another way in real life? And then we'll start to get to the wrap up. But I did want to hear your perspective on this.
Like I said earlier, I think people need to make their music as close to who they are as a person, as in real life. This is my whole thing. If you go sell a fantasy of something that you're not or you aren't, you got to be careful with that. Because if you're not, you know what I'm saying, it'll catch up with you eventually. And I tell everybody, man, that's another message I want to give to the listeners, to the followers. Don't ever walk around thinking you got to be tough for everybody, or you think, you know what I'm saying, we got it bad. We'll walk past each other, mug you and all kind, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't do that. Me as a person, you know, those are people I'm going to speak to. Hey, what's up, bro? You all right?
Yep.
Doing all right today? Come on, man. We alive. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? There's no way you could be mad about having another day of life.
Yeah,
There's no
true.
way. There's no way
It's
you
the
could be
most
mad.
valuable thing on earth.
Yes, man. Like I say, it's all about perspective. And if we could just change each other's perspective and look at stuff, because we don't listen. We got a bad habit of listening. Just like I said earlier, we got a bad habit of taking criticism and not wanting to hear. It's a way to discuss our disagreements rather than shooting at each other or going at each other, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's innocent people getting hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
These elderly people, how it's getting, you know what I'm saying, shot up, all different stuff.
That's what
Man,
happened last week in Colombia. The girl got shot up in a house. Mind you, she was in the bathroom using the bathroom. Yeah. They just shot indiscriminately into a house because they thought somebody was there. Killed her in the bathroom, child in the house.
Yeah.
This is on live TV.
Yeah.
Mind you. Continue.
Man, it's like I said, it's sad, man. That's what's hurting the most now, that our time of growing up was different. People grew older. You know what I'm saying, people had marriages that lasted 60 years.
Yeah.
You know, and everything. And I tell everybody, just look at it. All you gotta do is just look at what was going on then and look at what's going on now.
Yeah.
Things you ain't had to worry about your marriage business being all out in the street. Off of social media. You see what I'm saying?
Everything is
You see what I'm saying?
Everything is a screenshot away.
Everything is good. Like I tell everybody, everything is good as long as the people don't know about it. Because at the end of the day, man, and I tell everybody, just like I was saying earlier, leave the people guess. You gotta be private. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I would encourage people to do. Be more private with your life, because the more you exposed to the world, the more it's gonna take you apart. Even things at the point that when you look at stuff, and as far as our community and our culture go, if we can just change perspective, man, a lot of things would be so much better, so much different. And honestly, I think it's a 1% of us that want to try and help the Black community and continue to try. And just like I said earlier, I'm going to reach the ones I can reach. If I can't, you know what I'm saying? If I can't help, go hurt you.
Man, I'm a rest on them words. I like, if I'm not gonna help you, I'm not gonna hurt you. And I think for our community, some big words to hear.
Yeah,
it's
man.
very dope. Man, have to put that on a shirt.
Yeah, man.
You know, put that on a shirt.
A couple stuff we can brand.
Yeah, man. Rebrand it, don't
because you dropping dimes. No look. Like, and the thing is, he's doing it even without trying.
Conversation right
Natural.
now. But this is how you know it's, like I said, it's coming from a place of caring and love. It's not a place of hate.
Yeah, it's no place of hate, man. I love my people. I won't die. I never date outside my race. Love my Black queens always, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I be doing everybody a disservice. If I wouldn't speak up, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you got to stand for something. And at the end of the day, like you said, you know, you go lose people go fall off, and I feel it's part of the journey. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes a lot of energy to be a person amongst the people and be for the people. You know what I'm saying? You can't always please everybody, but you can always do your best to try to help everybody. My help may not make you happy. It's help.
How old are you?
So wise.
Good Lord.
Khaled moment.
Yeah, seriously. Another one.
So now you got to tell the people what upcoming projects you got going on. How can they find you?
Yeah, I'm just, right now, I got a lot of unreleased music. Right now, I'm working on some music. Just like you see, I kept recording for years. I haven't released anything for a while. Just like I say, sometimes you got to take a break. You know what I'm saying? You got to take a step back. I advise everybody, don't burn yourself out. Don't burn yourself out. Take some
strong words
and give yourself some grace. Everything not going to be perfect. Everything's not going to be, you know, exactly how you want it to be. But take your time. If you love something you do, take your time. Learn the business. It's the biggest thing I tell everybody, learn the business. Like I said, however far it go, if I can make $100,000 off of streaming, that's good with me.
Say that again. Right. Learn the business. Learn what you're about to jump into before you jump into
it. Yeah, I'm good. If I can make $100,000 a year, that's like $1 million to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. You see what I'm saying? And that's another thing we got bad too. Yeah. Let's not stop matching success. Success is a personal thing. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts.
Success is a personal thing. Everybody want to make success, amount of money, a car, the clothes you wear, where you live at, everything. But at the end of the day, it's all about, you know, who you are as a person, what you success. You know what I'm saying? Because this person, that person, like I tell everybody, you got to delete that. Delete some of them apps off your phone sometimes and just unplug. You got to unplug because you got to get in tune with yourself. You got to get to a point where you're not on the internet every day looking at everybody else's opinions. I mean, you not taking, you ain't got time to listen to your own.
You ain't downloading. You ain't downloading from the Lord. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Back to church, y'all. We love this.
Yeah.
Bring it full circle.
Yeah, bring it full circle. It's a good dialogue.
Yeah, man. I go to church on Sundays. I go to Elevation.
Word.
Yeah, right there, Noda. Yep, I go to Elevation. Great church, great message. Like I tell everybody, it all starts with God. You know what I'm saying? I got baptized when I was 13. I knew at the age of 13 that whatever I was going to do was going to be something big, and I knew I couldn't do it without God.
My man.
You know?
Fact.
Grown folk talk, right?
Now you got to tell people how to find you. We got to stay connected.
Instagram, Javo55.
I can pull up my phone for this.
You've been given permission.
Big Javo55. Facebook, you can find me at Javin or Javin Tyrell James. My fan page is at Big Javo on Facebook. Snapchat, you can find me at Javo55. And on Twitter, you can find me at Big Javo55.
And your music, how can we listen
to
your
music? I have music on Apple Music. You can find me on Apple Music under Big Javo. You can find me on Spotify under Big Javo and on YouTube.
Excellent. And especially if we have some unreleased things, please send it to us. We'll make sure we get on the playlist. And then anything you have out already, we'll make sure for definitely get it there. And then we'll go ahead and listen to it as well, so we can get it into our rotations and start getting you some numbers rolling. I always like to tell people, especially in this day and age, I like what you said, like knowing your business. Like nowadays, y'all realize technically you don't even got to go no more.
You don't.
Just get on a playlist.
You don't.
Get on a playlist.
You don't.
You get rotations anyway.
The game ain't changed.
Come on.
The game changed, man.
The game ain't changed.
Good Lord. But man, excellent interview today. As always, we love when we can have stimulating intellectual conversations, especially when we're coming from the heart and talking about things that are current. I know when this airs, hopefully some of this stuff will be past, but it'll be something for us to think about and continue to take with us in our daily journeys. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I said sign off. I'm going to sign off right now, of course. DJ and what? Got Tamaya, Skip. Yep. You got special guest, Dr. Thunderman Charles Holiday in the building. And of course, Javo. We appreciate having you today.
Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all for the pleasure. It's been a pleasure, man. Thank y'all for the opportunity.
For sure.
All right, for another Saturday here with the Hilltop Club podcast. Want to sign off. Everybody, peace, love, and soul. Be nice to somebody out there that you don't know.
That's it for today's episode of the Hilltop Glove Podcast. Make sure to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and other platforms. Also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Hilltop Glove.